Hey, everybody, Lieutenant Joe here. One of the things about law enforcement when we investigate crimes, there is, facts. We like facts. Everybody, give me the facts, just the facts, ma'am. And then we have forensic evidence. You can go out and you can get blood stains, you can get blood types, you can get fingerprints, we can recover weapons, all that kind of stuff. That's all good. There's a whole nother part of investigating that is interesting. So, is that sometimes it's accepted and sometimes it's not, and that is the use of a psychic. Would you use a psychic in your investigations? Now, I've reached out, done a lot of research. I've spoken to a lot of different police officers. Actually, we're going to have them on in a future episode to continue this conversation because I've had them on and said, yeah, I've used a psychic and it was helpful. I talked to other people who said, yeah, we used a psychic and it wasn't helpful. So I think in the cases that it is helpful, it's amazing, because how would somebody come up with something? And that's really for you to decide. But I decided to start this conversation, and in this episode, I reached out and I found Melissa McCarty. She's known as the Outlaw Psychic, and currently she's in Happy Camp, California, but she's moving. And I reached out to Melissa and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to find some information on psychics, understand what they do, how they function, and how they could be used in law enforcement." So I would like to welcome Melissa, the Outlaw Psychic, here to our program. Melissa, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. So let's dive right in here and say,
Okay.
first of all, what does it mean to be a psychic? People might have different ideas of that. What's it mean to be a psychic?
Well, for me, it's that I like to get into the meat and potatoes of my cases. I like to work this stuff. And sometimes I get it, and sometimes it just hits.
Now, what do you mean it hits? How does that come to you? Because
Well,
I
what
might
it
have an
means
idea in
is,
my head and
mm,
go, gee,
mm.
I think I know something. I have a hunch. How do you get a hunch and how does it become information?
Well, let's put it this way. I can have something brought up to me, and all you have to do is tell me, this happened, and automatically I get what, like a computer gets downloads, I get a download of information from spirit about what's going on.
Hmm.
And then I write everything that I can remember down, all the information that comes to me, I write it down. And then I go to law enforcement and say, look, here's what I'm getting. And I read things like photos, objects, buildings, locations. Um, you know, like I can touch something because everything is energy. Okay, everything is energy. Everything, every single thing.
And is that what this is really about? Everything has an energy, and when it commingles, you can read the different paths of energy.
Yes, I
Is that the idea?
can. Yes, I can. I can
Okay.
read that information, and it comes out as facts of the case. And with the one I was discussing with you, like the Kit Carson co-op robbery case, which was the local electric company in Taos, New Mexico, when it was robbed, my spirit guide, David, plus that sweet, sweet man in spirit, he is amazing. He pulls all the charts, he pulls all the information for me, lays it all out for me, the facts, the figures, all this stuff. And he says, okay, here's what you're looking at. Go get this person. And
So what kind of information do you get and who is your spiritual guide? Is that a person that you knew? Is that a person from the other world? I mean, who is that?
that's a person from the other world. Yeah, he works in Hall of Records, and he works closely with my ancestors and my people, other side. And he's amazing. He pulls charts and maps and facts and figures and all this, and gives me the information that I need to help law enforcement solve a case. And
Outstanding.
in the
So
case of Kit Carson co-op robbery, it was that I got all this information just coming at me. So I got home, wrote everything down because I had to keep repeating it to myself so I would not forget anything.
that's
And
amazing.
it turns out I had walked right past and looked in her eye, by the way, looked her right in the eyes, the person that was actually responsible for the case.
Unbelievable. So here's something that I have always heard about, and you tell me how this is connected to what you do or not. I know the CIA for years. There's been rumors and actual, I guess some experiments with remote viewing. They get
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's just they're sitting in a room and they can see some other place and they can see facts. Is that
Mm-hmm.
remote viewing? Is that kind of what you're doing, or is it different?
Yes, I do a little bit of remote viewing, or at least I can. I know how to do it. It's not that difficult. But then again, I was born with this, so it's kind of just what I do, you know?
So when you say you're born with it, how old were you when you realized you could do this?
Age 3, when I saw my first spirit.
Really?
Hmm.
3 years old, from then on, you knew it, and you've been doing this
Hmm.
ever since.
Hmm.
So if a law enforcement agency has a case where they it's gone cold, they have no further facts, what would a person like you be able to do? A psychic that could help them? What would they need to bring to you to have you maybe feel something or see something?
They can bring me a piece of jewelry, a piece of clothing, a photo, or a series of photos because I can read energy and see things beyond what they can. I can, they can take me like to a location, a building. I can touch that. And immediately I get downloads of information, and they have to get this stuff because it will help them.
Outstanding. And you said you worked on the robbery at the Kit Carson Electric Company in New Mexico.
Yes.
Any other connections you've had to law enforcement when you
Uh,
worked with them?
yes. There was the one that was the Holy Cross Hospital convent fire. And that turned out to be a murder case because some homeless people had gotten into the basement and started partying real hard. And one of them had been murdered by two others. And I was able to see that because when I went to go say goodbye to that location because they were going to demolish it after the fire, and that really, really, that touched me right down deep in my
So
heart
the
because
police
I
didn't know
love
this
that
person was
place.
murdered until you came to them.
Well, basically, what happened was I went to go say goodbye, and I saw an older female nun, full habit, and a young man standing next to her. And I was able to ask them questions. I asked her, are you ready to take him over? And she said, yes, she'll be able to cross him because that was his guy. And I was able to ask him, were you murdered? Were you killed here? He said, yes. I said, where are you? He said, the basement. And I got that almost like a telepathic type download of information from that spirit. And
Hmm.
after I got the information, I said, okay, you can go ahead and take him now. He's ready to go. And so he crossed, thankfully. And I was able to tell the security guard there, look, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm hearing. Here's what I'm feeling. Please write this down. Take this to the police. Please. I'm asking you to because this is what's going to be found in here. And sure enough, um, after they, demolished and excavated and all that, they found his body inside the basement of the building of what
So
was
prior to
once the
you
building.
telling them that and them demolishing the building after the fire and the investigation, they didn't know this person was even down there?
No, they didn't until they found his body.
And what did the police ever do? Did they charge anybody? Could they move an
Yes,
investigation?
they found two people, and this is all in the Taos News. They found two people, a man and a woman, and they were homeless at the time. And um, I guess they decided to have a party in the basement of the place. They broke in and all that. And I literally wrote down everything that I could remember. And I went to the police about this. They never called me back. But when it came out in the Taos News and I talked to the police chief later on, he's like, that was you? I goes, yeah. He
Wow.
goes, why didn't we call you sooner? I go, good question. Why didn't you call me sooner? I could
Right.
have, you
Jeez.
know,
So do you always get 100% hit or do you have misses as well?
I do have misses. And I think I generally base it on these terms is that I like to say I'm about 90% accurate and leave the other 10% for, say, I misread something, miscue, or just don't quite get something either the full way or the right way.
So I guess sometimes the whoever's helping you on the other side, maybe they're not clear and you
Yes,
don't get it correctly.
sometimes. Yes,
Interesting. Now,
sometimes.
for
Not
a
always.
while ago, there was a big TV show, it was the Long Island Medium, where this woman would walk
Yes.
into a bathroom and say, "Hey, listen, your uncle's trying to reach you." Was she for real? Do you think, or what do you think was
Oh,
up with her?
yes. No, 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 no. She's real. She's absolutely real.
And you've had those kind of experiences?
Yes, I have.
That's got to be unnerving, I would think.
No, actually, for me, that's normal. That's everyday normal for me.
So you just hear like somebody say, "Hey, that guy over there, somebody's trying to
Yeah.
reach him."
And sometimes I'll be walking through the grocery store and I'll see somebody's ancestor following them.
And do you tell them?
Oh yeah, I tell them.
Hey, by the way, Uncle George is behind you. And how do they react to that?
Sometimes they scream, sometimes they jump, sometimes they just go, "Oh my God," and see, I have to give the entire message or I lose it entirely.
Wow. So that leads me to think, I guess, in my own life, when you say there's somebody following them, do you think there's these spirits all around us all the time? We just don't see them?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And how come you
All
can?
the
How come
time.
you and other psychics can? What is that ability? Where's that come from?
Honestly, I don't know except from my own genetics because I come from a long line of witches, psychics, mediums, church clergy. Yeah, I just come from a very, very, very long line of them.
That's unbelievable. I appreciate it. And like I said, I wanted to open this discussion and get to know somebody who actually does this, because you see these signs, Miss Laura, she'll come in and do a reading, and I don't know if those people are real or not, but you have
Well,
actually
no.
documented cases where you've worked with the police. That's pretty good.
Hmm. I
Outstanding.
have
So,
multiple cases where I've worked with police. I just had another person in my inner circle come to me and asked me for help on finding his cousin who'd actually been beaten up, and his family calls it, he's missing. I goes, I know where he is.
that's outstanding. So listen, like I said, you have to make your decision if you think this is real or not. But you got a case that's shut down. You have nothing else. I have seen it. I know officers who were genuine, regular people who have reached out and
Hmm.
have used psychics and have actually helped them in their case. And I know others, like I said, who
Hmm.
didn't. So if you're at a loss, we're going to explore this a little bit further. But if you wanted to get in touch with Melissa, you get a pen ready. I'm going to give you a couple seconds because I'm going to read out her website. So you can go to the website. You can see what she's all about. Maybe you have some questions. All right. Are you ready? All right. It's OLPSYENP.com. Oscar, Lincoln, Papa, Sierra, Yankee, Echo, November, Papa.com. And that's Melissa McCarty, the outlaw psychic. Melissa, thank you very much for being here.
Actually, the last letter is T
Oh,
as in Thomas.
oh, I got that wrong. OLPSYENT, like in Thomas.com.
Yes.
So I'll put it in the show explanation. I'll put it in there. So let me make that correction right now. See, I didn't know. I'm not psychic. I didn't know I got it wrong. I just heard it wrong. Okay. So listen, if you want to reach out, learn more about this. And like I said, we'll get Melissa back again. Melissa, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it. And to all those law enforcement officers out there that are working your asses off, thank you, you guys. Mwah. Love you guys so, so much.
Thank you so much. And I will
Part of
send
my
everybody, I'll put the link out and it'll be out there very soon. I'll send it to you too, Melissa. Thank you,
heart. Okay,
everybody.
thank you so much.
Have a great day. Hey, listen, by the
All
way,
right, you
you
too.
enjoyed the program. You see right here. This is brought to you by this is the Blue Heart Podcast with Lieutenant Joe from blue360media.com, the #1 publisher for everything law enforcement and medical essential diagnostics here in New Jersey. At no cost to you. You go in, they check you out head to toe for your health to make sure you live through your career and enjoy your retirement. So blue360media.com and medical essential diagnostics brings you this program. And I'm Lieutenant Joe. We will see you down the road.